Good starting point, Greg. We're out here on Lake Martin again, and
Yeah,
you know, we always come back to this lake because it's where we grew up, and
this is home for me.
And yeah, definitely home for me too. Is I still live here, and you don't live too far from here. And,
No.
But just this is rare in this type of time of year to have a day like we're gonna have today. And it's cold this morning, but it's not gonna be cold for long. It's gonna warm on up into the mid 60s. I mean, that's about average for spring.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm 32. My windshield was frosted. The sun was coming up, and it felt like it warmed up about 5 degrees. We wanted to get out here early. The water temperature is cold. The fish will be active early in the morning. They feed in the wintertime, but they don't have as many feeding periods. So in a cold wintertime and cold water, the morning is still a good feeding period, just like it is in the summer. So if you can stand the cold, you can get out there and take advantage of that. And that fish was aggressive. I mean, not 2 feet of slack in the water. Right now, you know, this time of year, the water temperature's typically in the mid, usually low 50s. And when it gets to that level, the fish's metabolism is a lot lower than, say, earlier in the year when it was September and October and the water was around 75 degrees. Their metabolism isn't near as high now, so they don't need to feed as often. Their body's not using as much energy. But you do get these spurts, these feeding periods during the course of the day, and that's when you really want to be on your best place. And sometimes you can't predict when the fish are going to feed. We started this morning with a crankbait and a spinnerbait, fishing some stuff closer to the bank. It was more vertical. That even the tight bank was vertical because that works well this time of year. But you know, you can take advantage of those fish sort of being active that first feeding period's usually right there at daylight, first hour or two. And so we started on some of that stuff, and man, we hooked up with a good spot. I was really impressed with that fish that bit the little bandit 300. And that's always been a great pattern to put a few good fish in the boat early. But over time, I used to stay close to the bank or fish those things that I could see around the bank year round. And since once you learn the fish structure, you realize that there's a whole lot more fish out there to be caught on this offshore structure. And as the sun gets high and you've got this clear, deep water, these fish, there's not a big deal for them to move to 50, 60 feet of water. They got plenty of oxygen down there at this time of year, and obviously plenty of bait fish. Marked a lot of bait fish down there in that same depth range. So that's the goal, is once the sun gets up and kind of positions those fish on the structure, they're real vulnerable to be able to find them and catch them on spoons.
So many different techniques that we've shown on some shows in the past on this lake. But this one that we're going to be doing a little bit later on, as it warms on up, is something that a lot of people maybe not understand and maybe have never tried. And you know, a lot of people love to fish like we're fishing right now, and it's something that you can relate to. You got bank, you got structure, you can see it. What we're going to be doing later on is not going to be case. It's going to be different, and it's going to teach you how to use your electronics and show you how important they are, because all fish aren't always up near the bank, and sometimes you got to go out where they are if you want to have a successful day. It's going to be a fun day, folks, and we're just getting started right here on Lake Martin, right here in the central part of Alabama, and we're excited to be right back here on the lake that Greg and I call home. So a lot in store here coming up. Well, first of all, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I didn't know really, again, it's something different. And I've been fishing a long time, and a lot of times you go out here and somebody throws something new at you and you don't know what to expect. You're more apt to go back to something that you're more comfortable fishing during this time of year. And this is winter time here in Alabama. And first thing that goes through your mind is you go, well, am I going to strike out? You know, is this going to be something that I waste my time out here? But you never know until you go out and do it. So when we put the boat in the water this morning, I was excited that it was something that I knew that I'd never really done or really ever given a chance. And I actually learned a lot today in the whole process.
We tried the shallow water deal early. It's about 9:30 and the sun's getting up good, and we got a couple of bites, but it's a good time of year to catch some fish on some deep structure. So we got these little spoons. These look just like shad. I just saw these this year, but for clear water, I mean, it couldn't get any more natural than that.
That's right.
We're gonna go out there and ride around on some structure and try to locate some fish on the sonar.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna drop right down on top of them. Hopefully we'll actually see our bait go down to the fish on the graph. So it's kind of like playing Nintendo.
Well, that's the cool thing about it. This is another technique that that people are starting to do, especially this time of year, Greg. And let's talk about it for just a second. I mean, as you said, it looks just like the bait fish, the main forage in this lake at Lake Martin, the shad. And when we drop this down, and when we're pumping the rod, pretty much is what you're doing up and down. And this bait's going up and down the water column, and it's going to flutter down, and it mimics a dying shad. Is what it mimics.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it weighs 3/4 of an ounce. So, I mean, we're going to be looking in 40 to 60 feet more than likely. You can see the fish on the graph and get it down there quick to them and jig it up and down, and you get those fish to react to it. So it's a lot of fun. Let's go see if we can find something.
Going to be fun.
What we're going to do is start looking at some structure. So I'm totally dependent on my graph right here, my contours. I got the GPS on one side split. I got the sonar on the other. Right here we got some bait fish that just went by, and some fish actually suspended about 25 feet. The boat right now is sitting at 74 feet, but we're in a creek channel. You can see the lines are real wide right here, and it's telling me that's 69 feet, 81 feet. But right up here in front of me is coming up on a hump, and it's real tight lines. It's just like you see on the Weather Channel when they show the tight lines. That means that there's more wind, there's more change. And on the Weather Channel, they're talking about pressure, but that causes wind. But here we're talking about change in depth. So whenever you see those lines on the graph real tight, on the contour lines, that means there's a steeper drop. If they're more spread out, then it's a more tapered drop. And this time of year, we're looking for those tighter lines and that more of a vertical drop. So we're gonna go idle over this place and see if we can mark some fish. Here's one right up under the boat now, and he's just kind of out here wandering around in 74 feet. But like to find them relating to that structure. That's usually when they stay in one spot and you can really catch them on that spoon. So let's ride around and see what we can find. I can see this particular hump, the top of it's 27 feet deep. That's when the water's up. So right now it's probably sitting at about 20, the top of it. Of course we're in 74, but you'll see as we're getting closer to these lines coming up, you'll see the change in depth here shortly.
And all the different.
Yeah, you've got some fish and some trash on the very bottom of the lake. There was a small fish suspended. We're gonna see that change in depth start taking place right here.
There he is.
There he is. You got it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Just sitting there steadily watching the graph,
Yeah.
and steadily jigging it up and down, and
All of a sudden there he is.
this one feels pretty good. I mean, he's coming from a lot deeper water.
Oh,
He
look
got
at
hit
it.
in the tail. Look at
He
there.
took a swat at it and missed it, and you got it.
No wonder he was fighting.
Hey, anybody can catch them in the mouth. Not everybody can catch one in the tail.
Well, you catch them however you can catch them.
He just got so excited.
Never had to unhook one from the backside before. So, but
Not a bad
they're swarming down there,
That's what
kind of
they
like
just get in a frenzy.
I need to get us some pliers for that. But I mean, folks, that's out here in deep water, and you got fish way down deep, and look how white that fish is. Really, really cold. Another.
It was just sitting there with it. I didn't even know we had it. I thought it was on something on the bottom. Look at him go. Hey, this feels like a better fish.
That one felt
Hey,
like
if
a
this
good
is-
fish.
Oh,
Came
Get him
off.
off. Look at the school on the screen. Come here, Justin.
I got him.
There we go. There's a huge group under the boat right now. Huge school of fish.
Just as soon as yours.
Still got it, Brett?
Oh yeah, he's there.
There's a whole school down there. Look at the lines. These are all fish.
Look at how all. Look at all those fish.
Striper. White bass.
White bass. I don't know. That may be. Is that a white bass or is that a small stripe?
It's like a white bass. These lines are kind of broken.
Yeah. And look, this is a good thing to talk about, Greg. This is what we're going. These fish here get mixed in with these spotted bass and then some stripers. So you got 3 or 4 different species of fish that you can catch, literally, folks, while you're out here doing this. And Justin's turn around and show everybody the screen right now. Unbelievable amount of fish on the screen. Greg's just hooked up.
Right here.
Greg's just hooked up. I mean, there are fish all over.
This is what they were talking about, like a video game. I mean, you know they're under the boat, and it's just a matter of time. This feels like another striper. He is really putting up a fight. No, it's a big spot. Another big spot.
Big spot.
Brett's got a striper, and I got a spot. Look at that. Oh man, he ate it too. So I mean, these are good fish, Brett. These aren't little peanuts. I mean, that's a chunk spot on Lake Martin, guys.
So a couple different species right here in the road.
I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the size of my little spoon here. And if you look way down in his throat, there's what he's eating down there in the back. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bitty shad way back in the back. The exact same size as this little spoon. And that's what they're eating, 50 feet deep. It's so much fun because you're watching electronics and you see all this stuff happening. And you almost, once you find the right bait and you kind of know the presentation, when you see them go by on the graph, you know it's coming. I got a spotted bass, Brett's got a striper, same scoop.
Come out here and have a big day in the middle of winter and also get you some table fare as well.
Fresh, delicious, and down home. Old Mill Grill has the best oysters, shrimp, chicken, and steaks. Follow us on Facebook for all construction updates as we prepare to give the most amazing atmosphere and dining experience in the South. Our hours are Wednesday and Thursday, 10:30 to 2 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Old Mill Grill, Highway 14 East in Tallahassee.
LMG is a marketing group dedicated to designing successful advertising techniques for all of its clients. LMG can handle any promotional project, from web design and signage to corporate apparel and media exposure. Contact LMG today through their website at leemarketing.net. LMG, success by design.
Good Lord! All right.
Excitement awaits you on beautiful Lake Martin. Alex City Marine Striper Guide Service can provide you with the charter trip of a lifetime. Charter guide David Hare has over 20 years experience on Lake Martin, specializing in live bait for trophy striped bass while using only the best equipment on his 24-foot Triton 240 LTS center console. Whether one person or 40, Alex City Marine Striper Guide Service can accommodate your group with its fleet of available guides. So call Alex City Marine Striper Guide Service today at 256-215-FISH for your charter trip of a lifetime.
You don't really think about stability until you don't have it. Auto Owners Insurance has been safe, sound, and secure for over 90 years. That's stability you can count on. Contact your independent Auto Owners Insurance agent today. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people.
New shoes?
Stripe is the hardest fighting fish out here. You know, when you're fishing, the thing that you go after is the intrigue of fishing is what's going to pull on the other end. And, you know, it doesn't matter really what species it is, as long as you're in for a good fight. Why do you want to catch bigger fish? Bigger fish fight harder. and bigger fish are trophy fish. Why do people want to catch stripe? Because they know even a 4-pound stripe is going to fight harder than anything else that's swimming in this lake or any lake that has saltwater striped bass. And that doesn't take away from the fact that it's fun to catch big spotted bass too, but the intrigue of striped bass is what you know you're going to get when you hook into one. That's a heck of a fight. This one's got a lot of weight to him. This is a big one.
We got a double, son.
Big one. Greg's hooked up behind you, Justin. This one's, Greg, I think this is a big striper.
We got a double.
I think this is a big striper.
Mine's got some weight to it too, bro. Yep, it's got some weight.
Oh, God.
I think we got stripers, Brett. Do a
Let me
little
come
dance.
over here.
Woo, this fish has got some weight to it, dude.
This is fun stuff, folks. I'm
not
telling you right
I'm
now.
not even moving this one.
Oh, this one's not going anywhere. He's still stripping.
We got the stripers fired up now, boy.
Those big spots pissed off the stripers. Excuse my language.
Oh, I'm not even moving this fish. I'm just holding on.
All I'm doing is hold on.
When I first hooked him, I thought it was a little bass.
Greg, talk about these carrot sticks, man. These are
Oh, they're great. Well,
solid rod.
I mean, as soon as the fish ticks that bait, you feel him. He's coming up. It's like he's
This
swimming.
is 3 consecutive casts. I've jerked twice. Ooh, huge fish.
God.
Huge fish.
At the same time.
I thought for a second he ate mine, then he came and ate you. I know.
Well, for a second, I thought we
Oh,
might
here
have.
he is. Big striper.
Yeah, it's a
a
good
big
striper.
striper.
Here you go.
Big striper, Justin. Look at it.
Nice fish. Hey, you know what? I don't have a net.
It's okay. Look at that. That's a good striped bass down there in 45 foot of water.
Hey, that'll make a nice fillet, man. Don't lose it.
We'll try not to.
That's dinner, son. Dinner.
We'll see if I can ease him over the side of the boat. He ain't finished yet.
Let's see if I can go.
I'm kind of going a little handicap here today, Craig. I normally would reach down and grab him. You're going to have to help me a little bit with him. I'm
I'm going to try to do this, not lose my other rod.
laughing at my, here, you go ahead. Go ahead and fix yours. I'll get it. Go ahead. Go ahead and get yours. We'll get him.
Dude, I have got a chunk on. Well, once we hooked that first fish, it just fired
There
up
he is.
everybody. Yeah, that's good. Nice.
You don't realize how much you use a finger, do you? Till it's incapacitated. Look at that, folks. Look at that beautiful striped bass. You don't have to go to New York to catch pretty striped bass, do you?
No.
Look at there.
That's a beautiful fish.
Gorgeous striped bass. That's going to be nice for the grill later. Really, really nice for the grill. Greg's going to get his up.
I'm afraid to put too much pressure because I think it's a really good fish. And I know the hook on this bait is just so small. I mean, he's just.
What do you think on that one,
really,
Greg? About
here he comes.
6 or 7 pounds?
Yeah, that was a good 6 or 7 pounder. Look here, bro.
Look at here, another big one.
This is a pig,
This one's over 10.
no doubt.
This one's
This is
probably
a pig.
15
That's a 15 pounder.
15 pounder. How about that school of stripe? Oh, it's a big one.
Look at the bait, the little bitty bait he ate. That's a good 15 pounder, easy. We've caught stripers, white bass, and spots in about 15, 20 minutes.
Can't wait to get your lure back down there to catch another one.
No. This is a tank. This is a tank on bass tackle, son.
We both had a good fight there, but you doubled me up there, brother. I had to go on and tell you.
I say the carrot sticks is a pretty good rod.
Carrot
What do you
sticks
think?
handled the whole deal. Hey, what about these spoons? Those hooks, man.
Oh, they're good, man. They're good.
All right,
And
I'm
it just-
down. Look at the screen.
Are you showing up?
Oh, they're all over. How exciting is this, folks? People said jigging the spoon's not fun. I don't.
What are we about? 5 or 6 days from Christmas? Right here in December on Lake Martin.
Pretty good Christmas present.
Merry Christmas to me, baby.
There he is.
Got him. Brett's hooked up again. Just fast.
Can't get him in the box, man. This is not a stripe. I think this is probably a bass, maybe a white bass, but then I take that back. Then it's
Boy,
just trash.
they're all over the screen, man. They're everywhere down there.
Look here, another spot, another beautiful spotted bass.
There's a little bit of everything down there.
Fast as we can catch them, guys. Fast as you can get them.
Fast
Get
as
your
you
bait down there. This is the fun time of fishing, Greg, because you got a fish on and you're already wanting to get him off so you can throw it back down there.
And you watch your bait.
We're going to let him go back. There you go, folks. Look at that. Pretty spotted bass.
The electronics are paramount. I have a lot of confidence in Humminbird. I've been using Humminbird units for about 5 years now. The side image has just changed the game really, in which we didn't have to incorporate the side imaging because we were fishing completely vertical, but you gotta have them. You know, whether it's a Lowrance or a Garmin or any number of other brands out there, you gotta have a set of electronics with some high resolution. You need to have, you know, to do this type of fishing, you really need to have the GPS and Navionics chips, the contour lines. That's your starting point. That gives you a reference to where you want to start searching with a sonar. So you use the map and GPS to locate a spot that you want to check, and then you look around with the sonar and locate the fish and the depth. And I mean, without that, you're fishing blind. I mean, you can imagine if you didn't have a depth finder, you'd just be drifting around aimlessly, and you'd feel totally lost. In the same way with the map. So when you combine those electronics and the different features, it really gives you the opportunity to have a day like we had today. What we're going to do, there's some fish right here on the graph. They're coming up. I'm going to drop my spoon down. Let's see if we can see it on the graph. Going down. Going down. Here's my spoon right here. See this little line? See a little bit of it taking off. Not much. But these are all fish, and these are up suspended, and they're squiggly little lines. These are fish that are active. That's what you want to see. The spoon should be hitting bottom right about now. Here's the bait going down right here. See this little streak? Pick it up again right here. Here's the fish. They actually went to the bottom following my bait. I don't know if they're gonna hit it, but these fish swam straight to the bottom following my bait. Feel like a strike, Brett?
This is,
Can't tell?
can't tell.
No telling what it is this time of year.
You just really can't tell because sometimes he's coming on up. Look at there. Look at there. This is two doubles. Greg, I think this may be a strike.
I don't think this is as big as that other one, but it feels more like a strike. Let's see what we got.
Folks, if you want some fun, Lake Martin, Alabama.
Okay, this is a white bass.
That's
everything.
two white bass.
That's a white bass. I mean, it's everything.
I think you just answered
Brett's
the
got a
question.
big striper hooked up.
I think you just answered the question. Here he comes. Look at here. Is that a spot or is that a striper? I can't tell. That is a spotted bass.
That is a spot
and
and
he's
he's
foul hooked again.
foul hook.
That's two for me today.
Well, I don't know if we talked about Brett, but you know what causes that? These fish are in such a frenzy. I mean, here's our double.
How nice of him.
They're in such a
Mine wants
frenzy.
to be upside down a little
This
bit,
fish
so.
is not hooked in the mouth. He's hooked on the outside of the mouth. Brett's is hooked in the tail. They're just in there just going crazy trying to
This
get
is
these
not
baits, and they're hooking themselves.
Greg, talk about that. Would this be a legal catch in a tournament?
It would be anywhere but California. California is the only state that we fish that any time of the year they have to be hooked in the mouth.
And if you're sight fishing.
If you're sight fishing,
can't
fish have to be hooked inside the mouth, but these fish are 50 feet deep, so
I don't think we can see.
technically we're sight fishing with a Humminbird.
Got it? Yeah, I got it.
Justin just said, there's one right there.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Something that wants to run. Yeah, a little bit more weight on this. You know, Greg, the funny thing is, this is a, but you know, I fouled hook too, so this one's pulling, this one's spot.
He got some shoulders. I hear that drag.
There you go, Justin. That's pure T power right
He's
there.
just sitting there. That's textbook striper. You got dead weight.
Folks, you don't have to go far for a good fight. Now, Greg, you said it. Without these electronics, forget it.
He lost.
Forget it. I mean, people want to know how much electronics are worth. Well, if you want to fish, how much are they worth to you? I mean, what kind of fishing you want to go do?
Good strike.
6 pounds, 5 pounds, somewhere in there. Technically double because this one's not out of the water yet. Now he is. My drag, he He drug me back in the water. Let's try it again. There we go. You're white bass mania.
I am white bass king.
You bloody king, because he's bloody.
He's making a mess, isn't he?
This is fun. Alex City Marine Sales and Service, located at 2190 Cherokee Road, is a Mercury and Suzuki dealer, and they offer new Landau pontoon boats and Gator Bay boats. Alex City Marine is also your place for dry storage rentals and your contact for on-water tow service. Call us at 256-215-FISH. Check us out on the web at alexcitymarine.com. David and Stephen would like to thank the Lake Martin and surrounding areas for making their first 2 years a success. We are a full service and sales, one-stop marine shop. Alex City Marine.
S&S Discount Tire on Cherokee Road is your one-stop tire shop, and they have just completed a huge expansion to help handle all your vehicle's maintenance needs. Larry, David, and the rest of the S&S Tire team want you to come on in today and get your car or truck in tip-top, fuel-efficient shape. So whether it's new tires or just an oil change, you can't afford not to shop S&S first. Call S&S today at 215-8822.
When you need to get rid of that scrap metal lying around and expect to get paid top dollar for it, there's one place to call. Sperlin Recycling on Highway 9 in Equality, specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste, on-site scrap removal, roll-off services, and even demolition. For estimates, quotes, and updated scrap metal pricing, call 256-234-0903. Count on the best professionals in the recycling industry. Call Sperlin Recycling today at 256-234-0903. Sperlin Recycling on Highway 9 in Equality.
With over 40 years of combined experience, SignSource is the premier sign supplier for Central Alabama. From illuminated and monument signs for your business, to banners, car wraps, or political yard signs for the individual, SignSource can do it all. We specialize in designing sign concepts that get results. Contact us today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at signsourcenow.com. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Well, I get asked a lot, what do you do for fun? Because, most people do for fun is fish. And I usually tell them I fish, but I fish for different species. And out here, this is not the tournament atmosphere where the stress is involved. And I'm a fisherman at heart. I've been doing it since I was 4 years old, right here on Lake Martin. And it's a chance for me to come out and relax. And, man, we had an absolutely beautiful day today. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather right here almost at Christmas time. So, and to get to catch those big stripers and bass and the variety, the white bass, that's such a cool thing, is to get to catch the variety of species and, experience the fun of each one. And it makes me a better angler too, because when I go back out on the trail, I'm always sharpening my skills. So I'm out having fun, having a good time, but I'm also sharpening my skills, for when I go back out on the tour.
Look at there, folks.
Boy, that is the perfect eating size. You can get a fillet to feed three people.
Guess what? We probably are. Greg, I want to talk about one thing real quick. People getting out here that aren't used to fishing with treble hooks, and this is a lot of fun, but your day can become unfun real quick if you're not careful when you're taking the fish off the hook. These treble hooks, these stripers are extremely strong. These spotted bass are strong. They're coming up. It's extremely cold water, and they're fired up when you get them to the boat. So, Greg, just like my finger here, you don't want your finger looking like this. Now, I didn't do this from a fish hook this time, but a lot of people's days can end quick if they bury that treble hook down in your hand and you don't know how to properly get it out. It's a trip to the hospital. So,
Into the fun day of fishing.
Yeah, or when you're moving furniture. So either way, be careful. Always, it's fun to get excited. It's always a good time, but remember to kind of keep it in perspective and take care of things when you get the fish to the boat, if you're going to release it or if you're going to put it in your live well.
Been doing this several years now, and one of the things that you'll notice is there's there's a particular depth range that the fish are using. A lot of times it has to do with, because that's the depth range that the bait fish are hanging out in.
There he is.
We got a double again. Another double. Oh, he came off.
That's 4 doubles, though. I wouldn't count that, Chris.
Oh, another one hooked up. I just lost a fish and I dropped my line and another one got it.
This is insane.
But you're looking for an optimum depth range.
I get on the white bass with you, Greg. Get to be on the white bass bite for you. You got something that's got, there you go. On the other side over there.
Oh, stripping some drag, son.
Hey, you gotta love it when he
Stripping some drag, dude. This doesn't get old. This would never get old. You can't catch enough of these fish.
People that don't like to fish, which I can't imagine, but people that don't like to fish just wouldn't get old.
I don't know if you can hear that drag stripping, but when this fish decides to move, he goes quick. I lost a fish.
Looks just like a striped bass, but it's a white bass. So
a little bit wider body.
A little bit wider body, so a lot of fun to catch.
This is going to be a striper. Or a lake record spot.
Let's go for the lake record spot.
Another good striper. Look at this one, folks. Another good one.
Now, you can just feel them when they come up, how much weight they have. And Greg, they kind of do circles. You know, they kind of go in that circle.
Reminds you of the tuna?
Down offshore.
Reminds you of a tuna, doesn't it?
Of a yellowfin tuna.
Golly, so much fun. I mean, these fish there's sheer power, dude.
I mean, there's hundreds, folks, hundreds.
Screen is loaded
I just got hit on the way down, folks. My bait is on the way to the bottom, and my bait just got hit. Greg, it went through the school of fish. I'm not sure it just he's hit it already.
He got it. Double.
He's already got it. I didn't even get a chance to get it down there, folks.
Doubles. How many doubles? That's already like 4 or 5 doubles.
No, that's 7 doubles, Greg, on the day. Look at here, spotted bass. Or is this a white bass? Can't tell you.
Yeah.
White bass.
A white bass.
And they hit it 3 or 4 times on the way down. I mean, it never made it to the bottom.
Need a boga grip right now. This is a redneck boga grip. I got my needle nose fly.
Hey, let me tell you something.
I don't want to run my hand.
You don't want to stick your finger or hand down in a striper's mouth that's got that much power.
That's
unless
a lot of
you know
muscle.
exactly what you're doing. I'm telling you, your day can be ruined.
If you can get his jaw turned back a little bit, that's sort of paralyzing. But these stripes have so much power, and they can still move on you. Once you get the hook out, you can deal with it. But here's something this is the thing about the stripers and the white bass that you need to kind of watch. The spotted bass, you can actually reach kind of behind their gills right here and press, and you can take the hook out of their mouth. But with these stripers and the white bass, they have a gill plate right here that is sharp as a knife. Let's see if I can show this. Right here, this little thing right here is sharp as a knife. It will slice your fingers wide open. And there's another one right here. So with the stripers and white bass, you don't want to reach across their back, but that's with the spotted bass and largemouth, that's a great way to paralyze them a little bit while you take the hook out of the mouth. So, God, how many stripers we got in there? We got a meal yet?
We've got 4 or 5.
We got a meal?
Got a meal.
We've already got our limit. It's only 2 apiece this size, so.
So we're gonna have to start releasing them.
They're getting after it.
Look at here. Look at here. Reeling it up. Reeling it up. And he hit it. White man. You can start telling me. You can start telling me. I've taken over your reign as a white man protege over here. Hey. Do you want you want a club finger?
Fight him off with this club finger. All right, we got another white bass.
So much for being precautious with treble hooks.
There's like a million. There's like a million fish down there, it looks like. I mean, the whole screen turned black. It's ridiculous.
Guys, I was reeling up to go to do it, to drop it back. Justin, just look at the screen. Show everybody the screen. I mean, I don't have to tell you. That says 72, 71.9 is the depth we're in. Greg's dead on. These fish are following our boat. We have a waypoint marked, and they're following the shadow of the boat, and as soon as we get our spoon down there, it's game on.
Frenzy, dude.
This is ridiculous. I mean, it's one fish catch after another.
I mean, you know, typically live bait is better than
don't know how it can be much better
artificial,
than.
but you couldn't catch as many fish with live bait right now because you'd have to rig a bait every time. And we got an artificial, you just take one off and drop it down and another one's on. It's
Looks
ridiculous.
like we've gotten into the white bass pretty good.
Yeah. So now we've caught so many fish that we're complaining about the species that we're catching.
I'm not complaining.
Hey,
no complaining.
It's a lot of fun. Right back in another spotted bass. God, man, I'm gonna tell you. I got these Typhoon polarized optics glasses on, and the water it's just gin clear out here. Middle of the winter time. I could see this fish like 15 feet down with these polarized glasses on.
I'm gonna tell you, they've made me a believer. They've made me a believer. I have an opportunity to be wearing a pair too, Greg, and it just, I tell you, you know, don't take people's word for it. You know, a lot of times you have to go out and try it yourself, and you know, we're sitting here telling everybody about how good these glasses are, but you need to go pick up a pair, order them online.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you know, first time I came out on Lake Martin, if there's anywhere that you check a pair of polarized glasses, is out here on Lake Martin where the water's so clear, and you get up around the bank, 10, 15 feet of water, you can see individual stumps, limbs coming off of brush, rock piles, everything. It makes a huge difference when you're fishing around the bank. But here it's just fun because you can see the fish 15 feet down coming to the surface.
Greg, talk about this real quick. This is different on the graph. A lot of activity up at the very top of the water up here. I mean, it looks like a school came up right up on top of the water and followed maybe your bait up as you were catching that spot.
Yeah, and I'll show you another thing too, is you can see these little hops right here. This is actually my spoon on the bottom. Each time I jerk it, you can see it bouncing on the bottom right there. It's just kind of neat.
Just like a video game.
Tells you your bait's right.
I mean, it's just like a video.
Fresh, delicious, and down home. Old Mill Grill has the best oysters, shrimp, chicken, and steaks. Follow us on Facebook for all construction updates as we prepare to give the most amazing atmosphere and dining experience in the South. Our hours are Wednesday and Thursday 10:30 to 2 p.m., Friday and Saturday 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Old Mill Grill, Highway 14 East in Tallahassee.
Russell Do-It Center has been known for being your local hardware store, but what you may not realize is that Russell Do-It Center has evolved into something much more. With the addition of Russell Home Decor, Russell Do-It Center has become a complete home center. Russell Do-It Center also offers team grills featuring officially licensed Alabama and Auburn logos. Support the team that supports your community. See you soon at the Russell Do-It Center.
Fishtails, located on Highway 280 in Alexander City, is not just another bait and tackle store. They have all of the top name brands in the industry, whether it's rods like Shimano, Kistler, G. Loomis, or the best artificial baits like Zoom, Gambler, Net Bait, and Reaction Innovation. They also have all types of live baits as well. Fishtails is now an authorized Costa Del Mar sunglasses dealer and a Yeti cooler dealer. Call 256-212-9850 for the best brands in the industries. Fishtails Bait and Tackle.
Lee Apparel and Promotional Products can logo a wide range of products for your business, club, school, or team. We offer t-shirts, athletic uniforms, as well as any type of promotional product you can imagine. Contact Lee Apparel today at 256-825-0197. Tell them that you heard this on the AHSAA Radio Network or Sportz Blitz and receive 15% off of your initial order. Lee Apparel, 256-825-0197. Lee Apparel, 256-825-0197.
I want to talk to you about one of my favorite things to do in the wintertime, and that's jigging a spoon. Right here on Lake Martin, there's offshore structure. You can use your electronics to locate fish, and you just take these jigging spoons, you can drop it right down to the fish and jig them up and down. It's real simple. Anybody can do it. You don't have to have a lot of skill. You just need to be able to locate the fish, and then you can experiment with different types and colors of spoons to catch the fish. Right here is one of my favorites. This is a 3/4 ounce Hopkins Gold, and you see we got a treble hook on the back. The little EWG hooks work great on the back. And then one of the real key things is this swivel that I've got here. And I take a split ring and put it through the eye of the spoon and then go to a swivel. And that takes a lot of the twist out of your line when you're jigging that bait up and down, so your line doesn't get coiled up. So cloudy days, cloudy cover, I really like gold. That's the one I usually start with, but another really good color on cloudy days is a white, and this is a solid white, and that shows up really good. And sometimes you get spoons that have a little line of chartreuse, which could help, but I've done really good with the solid white. This particular one comes with a swivel on it. And then you get into something like this is a brand new one to me, and it's actually got a shad pattern laminated on it, and it looks just like a real shad. We've caught a ton of fish on that one this year. Again, I think that's about a 7/8 ounce. The hook's been damaged on this one, but again, the little swivel at the top and little shad pattern, it just can't resist it, in clear water especially. If you get into stained water, sort of like cloudy conditions, go with the gold or the white. In stained water, I've had more success with them. And then you can dress them up. You want to put a good hook on the back. Typically, like with these 3/4 ounces, a number 4 size hook is best. And here I've got a little feather trailer, just adds a little bit extra flash or attraction. And you'd be surprised, sometimes this can make a difference, and the feather actually slows the fall down. So when you jerk the spoon up off the bottom, the little feather trailer slows the fall down, and sometimes that can be all the difference in getting a strike. But these are all 3/4 ounce, and then you can go to something smaller, and you're usually like a 1/2 ounce, smaller bait fish. Or real slick conditions, no wind, nothing. The fish are kind of finicky. You can go to a smaller size, and it works in both situations. And then finally, this is called a sidewinder spoon. This one's actually designed to cast. So there's a fish have been down deep, but they come up and start schooling. You got a sidewinder spoon, and you can cast, and it has a slow fall to it, and works kind of like the flutter spoons that have become real popular. And this is just a sort of a smaller size of what we call a flutter spoon. So a lot of variety with spoons. The biggest thing is locating the fish, and that's easy. Find them on the electronics, find structure on your GPS, your Navionics chip, find that structure, and then ride around with the sonar and locate the fish, and then drop the spoon down to them, let it hit the bottom, let it all the way out down to hit the bottom, engage the reel, and it's just a steady motion. Sometimes they want it real high off the bottom. Sometimes they want a sort of a short hop off the bottom. And more often than not, they hit it on the fall. So as the bait comes up and it crests and it starts to fall, a lot of times that's when the strike occurs. And really you'll feel the fish as you go to hop the bait again. You'll actually stick the fish, and then you just start reeling. So a really cool deal. You catch a lot of fish, and like I said, a lot of numbers and a lot of variety and a lot of fun for people that don't have a whole lot of experience. That's the jigging spoon.
Alex City Marine Sales and Service, located at 2190 Cherokee Road, is a Mercury and Suzuki dealer, and they offer new Landau pontoon boats and Gator Bay boats. Alex City Marine is also your place for dry storage rentals and your contact for on-water tow service. Call us at 256-215-FISH. Check us out on the web at alexcitymarine.com. David and Stephen would like to thank the Lake Martin and surrounding areas for making their first 2 years a success. We are a full service and sales, one-stop marine shop. Alex City Marine.
JR Sports Bar and Grill has great locations to best serve you. Find them on Highway 280 in Sylacauga and Alabama Street in Alexander City. JR's has specials every day of the week. Kids with uniforms eat off the kids menu for $1.99 every day. Dine in or call ahead for pickup. Their number is 256-329-2328. We'd love to cater your next get-together. Find us online at facebook.com/JR Sports Bar and Grill. Spell out the word "and." That's JR Sports Bar and Grill in Alexander City and Sylacauga.
Every year, a group of experts conducts a study to determine the best hospitals in the country. Hospitals that set the standard of quality in our nation's healthcare. Their study focuses on the facts, allowing every hospital's performance to speak for itself. In the end, only the country's top hospitals emerge. We are one of those hospitals. We are Russell Medical Center.
Did you know that in today's world that over 90% of your potential customers will look for your business on the internet before they ever contact you personally? eSolutions Media can help make sure your first impression is a lasting impression. We can build your business a website that will work for you or make your existing site even better. Having no online identity is like not having an identity at all. So call us today at 256-392-3990 or see for yourself at esolutionsmedia.com.
There he is. Right where it's supposed to be. Feels like a spot.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, man. Like playing a video
Ours
game.
starting to get back in the bass now.
That is a beautiful little spotted bass right there. He's not real big. Man, he's pretty. He's a skinny little guy.
It is amazing.
I mean, and sometimes it doesn't really matter the size because it's just the whole thing about...
It has nothing to do with the size.
You know, watching your bait go down and seeing the fish on the graph and the line, and you don't know how big a fish that it is on
Now,
that
it
line.
makes it a little bit better when you get it up there and it is a bigger fish, but
Yeah.
you're still not disappointed because you catch the fish.
It's a lot of fun. And being able to see all this happening down there on your electronics just makes it that much more fun. There's another little more activity starting to show up down there again. What you want to do, we're kind of working a large, you know, this is a large area. There's a large underwater hump. It's got a large break line. And I think
scattered all over.
The school of fish are kind of moving up and down this thing. And when you kind of get them going, you know, I think more fish come from the area and kind of want to take advantage because they think the others are getting the feed and they're not. So they get a little bit jealous. But you spend some time on a certain part of that structure where you were catching them, you don't get bit. You can kind of start moving around and surveying, and you might find the school, you know, maybe within 100 yards of where you were a while ago. We're starting to have some show up again here. It's been kind of slow for just a second. I mean, we've been catching one every 10 minutes.
Shake that. Shuffle it.
Merry Christmas to me, baby.
As you can see, it's been non-stop action for the last 45 minutes to an hour here. We're still catching one or two here and there, but not near the amount that we were catching in a short amount of time as we were doing just 15 minutes ago. So we're about to try another spot.
You know, one of the things you ought to remember with the spoon fishing is because of the spoon is just going up and down and up and down, and you'll see a little bit of twist sometimes. And one of the real important things is to have a swivel above. This particular spoon comes stock with this little swivel above it. And that keeps all this twist out of your line. I mean, if you get that twist in there, it'll actually coil up and form a knot. So just having a little swivel on top will make a huge difference. If it's not a type spoon that's designed, with a swivel, you can take a big split ring and put it right there and then run a swivel onto the split ring. And it'll just make a huge difference. And I really don't think that it matters to the fish. I don't think that, because they're so dialed in on the profile of that bait, they never notice what's going on up top. So one little key is put you a swivel above that thing, and it'll take all that line twist out, make it a lot more enjoyable day. This is the catching part is a lot of fun, but this is a big part of what leads to the catching, is locating the fish. So we're, like I said, we're totally dependent on our graph, on our electronics. And right here, this is a deep creek channel. It's got 87, 96 feet of water right in the middle. And then right here, you can kind of see the edge of this underwater creek channel. And we're just looking for these little steep places on the edge of the creek channel. And while we're sitting here, here's a fish right here suspended 20 feet deep. And that's a fish. The size of the fish is not indicated by the length of the line. It has more to do with the width of the line. The length is just how long that fish is underneath the boat. So we're going to idle around a little bit right here. And this is a particular spot where I've caught fish before. So I've got a waypoint right here, and it kind of gives me an idea of where to start looking. Here's some fish right here near the bottom, and they're laying right on the edge of that old creek channel. So that's a good sign. That's kind of what we're looking for. And they're not real active because they're laying right on the bottom. But you saw a while ago, we found a spot, we turned around and caught one or two and fired up the school, and it was on for a good hour or so.
This was an uncharacteristically warm day for mid-December, and so I know a lot of people are going to watch the show and they're going to say, well, is it going to have to be like that to have that kind of fishing day in December? It doesn't have to be.
No, I mean, it's when you're fishing vertical, that's the great thing, is you're fishing so deep that the fish are really not aware of what the air temperature is, what's going on with the weather up top. Maybe whether it's sunny or cloudy, if it's sunny, they might go a little deeper. If it's cloudy, they might move up and roam a little bit more. But for the most part, those fish down deep, that's the great thing about finding fish on structure, is those deeper fish are a lot more dependable from, day in and day out.
Well, we'll talk about sun and cloudiness. I mean, being scattered and versus being able to hold. I mean, it does have, it does play not necessarily play a part, but it has an impact on what the fish do. I mean, it's part of the conditions, and wind's part of conditions, and we had a little wind early, and then it died down, and it picked back up. And so, what do people need to understand when they're planning a day, whether it be 35 degrees or whether it be 65 degrees? What do they need to do when they're planning their trip?
Well, Lake Martin is a clear water lake, so it's really, whether it's sunny or whether it's cloudy, it can have an impact. And the shallower you fish, the more of an impact it has. So if you're thinking about running the banks, you really need to take into consideration, whether you have some wind or clouds or sun. If you got wind or clouds, that breaks up the surface of the water, and in clear water, it makes it a little bit more difficult for the fish to make out the profile of the bait. And really it helps. They're more active, they're more willing to roam. If the sun comes out and it gets calm, they're going to relate to some type of cover, either shade or an object under the water like a stump or a big rock. So think about the conditions before you ever go out that day, and it'll make a big difference, and you'll begin to make good decisions quick. And when the weather changes, you can kind of stay on the fish if the weather changes during the course of the day.
We had a plan today. We knew what we were going to do before we got out here, and we stuck to the plan. And I think that has a big role in being successful. And I mean, that doesn't mean you got to have a camera filming you to have a plan. You need to have a plan and kind of stick with it based on what all you've done as far as your research. We knew we were going to try up shallow early, and it was okay at best. And then we went to the main plan, and that was vertical jigging. And boy, it got hot and heavy for 45 minutes. It was as quick as we could get the bait down there and catch a fish and get the fish off and get it back in the water, and then you drop down, you catch another one, and then it was gone. And talk about that. I mean, how long? But right when we pulled up on the spot, it wasn't. We weren't catching fish. Right. How important is it to be patient where you are and just stick with what you're doing?
Well, we go back to the electronics, and I had caught fish on that particular spot before, but it's a big area, so you still use the electronics to kind of look for a group of fish. And I started marking some fish that were up suspended in the water column. That's usually a good sign. We saw a couple of balls of bait close by, so the fish had a reason to be hanging around. And so I made a couple of waypoints where I marked those fish, and we got back in there. One of the coolest things about dropping that spoon is it might take a little bit to catch one, but when you do, it fires that school up, and you got lines going all over the graph, and you got doubles going on, and it's just fast and furious. And that's one of the coolest things. You're not even really thinking about the size of the fish you're catching. It's just that action, and so much is going on. It's just exciting.
It became a competition for the fish.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could see it on the graph. I mean, we kept dropping and dropping, and
get them while they're getting
got
good.
that first one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it all broke loose. And people, you can throw what term in there, you know what breaks loose. It broke loose down there, and I mean, it was a competition between 3 or 4 different species of fish down there. And we're dropping down, and we're catching spotted bass, and then you catch a stripe, and then you catch a couple white bass, and then back to a spotted bass, and then another big striper would come through. And get while the getting's good. I know that's a cliche statement, but get while the getting's good. If you don't, your day doesn't turn out quite like you should. That's the difference in, to me, 2 guys pulling up the boat ramp after a day, and one guy goes, "Well, how'd you do?" And he goes, "Well, I didn't catch anything." When he turns around and says, "Well, how'd you do?" And he goes, "I had a pretty good day." And that happens all the time. You hear people go, "Man, I didn't have a good day. It wasn't good fishing out there." And you talk to somebody completely different. They had a great day.
Yeah, I mean, most days on the water, you spend 8 days on the water, but you might not have an hour of really good fishing.
That's right.
Sometimes you catch an hour, one here, one there, and then other times, you might have an hour of good fishing, but heck, if you catch them like we were catching them today, that's a dang good hour.
And it makes you appreciate too, because that doesn't happen very often. I mean, seriously, I mean, we're blessed to be able to, when we come out here and, we want to bring a lot of neat tips and things to our viewers, and that's one thing we pride ourselves on in Sportz Blitz Outdoors, is being able to be an insightful program where people can kind of learn some things. I learn. I mean, you learn different things.
You learn every day.
Every time you come out there, so that's growing. And that one fish, folks, that one big fish can make your day a really good day or not have a good day at all. So before we let everybody go out there, a lot of things go before you put the fish in the boat. You got to have your tackle in good order. You got to have good line. Everything has to be part of the preparation process to have a good day.
Yeah, anytime you go fishing, you want to be prepared, whether it's your rods, really it's everything. It's your rods, your reels, your line, your lures, all of your tackle. Your boat needs to be ready. And that's, all of that thing goes towards having a successful day on the water. It makes it a whole lot more enjoyable, and you don't have those excuses like, oh, I was breaking off every time, and I had dead trolling motor batteries. So try to make sure that everything's ready to go before you go on the water, and you're going to have a lot more fun, and it's going to help you focus more on what the fish are doing. And then again, the less you got to worry about your equipment, the more you can worry about the fish. So be prepared, and it's going to help you out a lot.
Eliminate problems before they happen. Good day, man. Had a great time out here.